What's going on, y'all? How you doing? What's up? What's up? It's all in the cards with Kathy, Karma's Paradise, Kia Moore. How y'all doing out there tonight? So we're gonna turn this into freestyle session tonight. My guest cannot be here, but that's cool because we getting ready to turn it up with some of these burning questions out here tonight. What's going on, Mr. Will? How you doing? So if y'all could just do me a favor, go ahead and tag your friends, message your friends, do whatever you need to let them know that it's getting ready to go down right here inside the 411. What's going on, y'all? People out there, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, or Twitch, drop it in the comments. Let me know what's going on. Welcome to the 411. What's going on? How are you? Thank you so much. K. Cole is in the building tonight. Miss Karma's Paradise. Y'all go ahead and support my friend. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get right on into this song of the day. Fuji La by the Fugees. Released in 1996 off of the Score album. Very special happy birthday to Praz. So the question that I have for all of you out there, all of you true hip hoppers, I don't even know if this has ever been discussed or not, but I'm sure it was back in the day. But who is your favorite Fuji? And also, what is your favorite song? And I'm sure that Lauryn Hill is going to win. It's going to be Lauryn Hill, probably number one. And then Wyclef probably going to be number two. Although, it could go back and forth. But, of course, my favorite, in that order, I would say Lauryn Hill. And then I would say Wyclef, especially, that 911 with Mary J. Blige. So definitely did that. So, yes. Who's your favorite Fuji? And what is your favorite song? The Fugees are coming to New Jersey. So people out there in New Jersey, they're supposed to be coming next month. Also, Mary J. Blige is going to be in Brooklyn next month. But the Fugees are going to be in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, the Prudential Center. I believe it's the 26th of November. So, and I actually took a look at some of the tickets, and they are pretty reasonable. Now, we just need to know if Miss Lauryn Hill is going to show up on time or not. But, yeah, Fugees are coming to New Jersey. Probably can get you some good tickets anywhere between 70, starting around 70, $80. Look pretty decent to me. So I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out to everyone out there, each and every one of y'all for joining in. Thank you so much. People on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, D Live, Twitch. Thank you so much. And again, go ahead and tag your friends, let them know what's going on. But last night we had a great show. Darius Chambers came in. So if y'all all have a minute, go ahead and watch that replay. He has a podcast called What the Shit, and he's a funny dude. So definitely go ahead and check out Mr. Darius Chambers. And I also want to give a very special shout out to It's All on the Cards with Kathy. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Silver Q from California, thank you so much. Victoria Kamani, D&K Fashions, thank you. I just learned that about them, so shout out to D&K Fashions, fellow podcasters, True Podcast, Miss Rebel Jewel, Sophie Davis, CS Essentials, and of course, Mr. David Wayne Fox, all the way from New York City, and Bethany Trent, thank you so much. SOS came in last night as well, and she did her thing as well. We had Miss Lee Dennis. A bunch of people came through last night. It was really good. So now the question that I have to ask you: how do you deal with family drama? As time goes on, we talk about all kinds of ways that we deal with, you know, I guess, dodging family drama, staying away from it, keeping ourselves separate from the BS. But sometimes we can't avoid it. And y'all know that these holidays are coming up. You know full well that these holidays are getting ready to come up, and this is where some of this stuff starts to stir up. So, how do you deal with family drama, especially when you can't dodge it? You might have to deal with somebody for, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever these holidays are getting ready to roll around. How do you deal with family drama these days? Oh, yes. Thank you so much. So, how are you dealing with family drama these days when you know full well that you can't really dodge it? You got to deal with them some way, shape, fashion. It is what it is. But um, I don't. Oh, you know that ain't right. Okay, you know that is not right. With that middle finger, I don't. F them. And they better not say nothing to me. Mm-mm-mm. You ain't right. You are so not right. Sometimes we have to deal with family drama, and you know it is what it is. You got to deal with the aunt that probably is running her mouth saying some stuff about people that she probably should not be saying about. Um, all kinds of stuff. I mean, the list can go on and on and on and on and on. It's all in the cars where Kathy says we scream at each other and then say, let's eat. Oh, hell no. I'm not going to dinner screaming and yelling and then eating. Oh, hell no. Screaming and yelling and me getting in my damn car and leaving. I'll tell you that much. But no, that is too much. Yes, exactly. That's too much energy screaming and yelling and then say, let's eat. Hell no. Screaming and yelling and let me get a drink and go and sit somewhere so I don't have to worry about punching somebody in the face. That is crazy. So, from time to time, we get people who write into the show, and a lot of times it's around some relationship type stuff. This man has been showing up for, 6 years and still haven't given me the ring. That, stuff like that. One of the other questions was when people become incarcerated, do we expect their significant others to remain faithful? That one was off the chain too. So many different things, and these are all real life situations here inside the 411 podcast. So another person writes in and says, I feel lonely. So I feel lonely until I hook up with somebody, and then I feel disgusted. So the question last night was, what advice do you have for this person? Somebody who feels lonely, can't be by themselves. And then all of a sudden, when they hook up with somebody, I guess after it's all said and done, they end up feeling less than. So that's a pretty bad situation to be in. So I'm asking each and every one of you out there, drop it in the comments. Let me know, what type of advice would we have to give to this person? Somebody who just can't stand the fact of being by themselves, and they probably do just a little bit too much, might be a little bit too extra until they get exactly what they're looking for. And then after they get it, they ain't really feeling themselves afterwards. So, what do you have to say to that type of person? And have you ever been there before? That is so funny. So get some toys. Shout out to A Whole New Vibe by Royale too as well. So get some toys. So I have spoken to a couple people, and some people say that they just need that human interaction. So toys may not actually play the part. So I guess I'm gonna throw it back to you and say, so how do you get some human interaction then? Maybe you don't have to sleep with the person, but there probably should be something else I guess you can do to get some human interaction if you're going to use some alternative methods. It's all in a card says, yes, regret afterwards, but I took a chance. Oh my goodness. Do we have the author of that question? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it was not you, but they sound like they have some self-love issues. Probably. Because when you don't love yourself, you're going to be searching everywhere. You're going to be looking at whatever you need in different people. You might um, do it in other methods, maybe a shopping addiction, something like that. You might, you know, crave the fact of having certain things or going to certain places. So, yeah. So all of that is so relevant and so true. But um, what advice? I guess maybe some deep meditation. I guess maybe that's what they could do to get it out of their system. I have no idea. We asking for your help out here tonight. And again, at any time that you want us to bring your questions here, you can DM me, of course. You can also text me at 609 738 0611, and we will go ahead and bring your burning questions to life here, right here on the 411 podcast. So, speaking of which, do you think the person that you are today, can you sustain a long distance relationship? And I have thought long and hard about this, and I've gone back and forth. Like, the younger me was like, oh, hell no. I need to deal with and see the person on a regular basis. So unhealthy. Back then, I was just so unhealthy. Um, but today might be a little bit different. So I guess the question that I have to throw out there is, do you think that you can sustain a long distance relationship based on all of the information and knowledge that you have obtained thus far? Interesting. What's going on, Laffy Taffy? That's an interesting handle name, Laffy Taffy. Question is, what is your Taffy? I remember back in the day there used to be strawberry ones. I used to break my neck to get them. I haven't had a Laffy Taffy in a long time. Actually, I haven't had much candy in a long time. I haven't been really craving candy, but yeah, them strawberry ones, got me reminiscing a little bit. Oh, so you can't deal with a long distance relationship because you're a attention hound. And I love how you put the word hound in there, but I have a different word for it. But we'll save that till tomorrow for reading between the lines. But I love how you call yourself an attention hound. Mm. Long distance relationship. I'm thinking that that might be something that might work well for me. And it's so strange because before I would think that I wouldn't be able to handle it because, again, like I said, I was just living so unhealthy, always needed to be smothered up underneath somebody and needed to know what the hell was going on, and, you know, always thinking the worst of a situation and investigating stuff and just being, like I said, so unhealthy. But with the workload and the situation that I got going on now, I'm thinking that somebody that's not wrapped up and wanting to be all up underneath me today might actually work. So I don't know how far, like as far as the distance wise, but we don't have to live in the same town. We don't need to live in the same neighborhood. So something with a little bit of distance in between would probably work. I was actually talking to somebody in New Orleans, and that's a decent amount of space, but I don't know how long you could sustain something like that. So I don't know, but it's worth a shot. So here we have Reading Between the Wines coming up tomorrow at 8 p.m. So every Wednesday at 8 p.m. we do Reading Between the Wines. My co-host, the whiskey drinking, crazy thinking, shit talking, and I am walking. Miss It's All in the Cars with Kathy. Probably will be in rare form tomorrow, right here at 8 p.m. Reading Between the Wines every Wednesday. So the holidays are coming up soon. I need to know. Speaking of people being attention hounds, I'm going to go ahead and flip it. Some people are actually, no, I'm going to just keep it at hound. I was going to say the word. I'm going to just keep it at hound. Who knows? Probably get thrown off of another social media platform if I start saying certain words. But um, so do you get hung up on gifts for the holidays? There are some people who gotta have this, gotta have that. Oh, you better buy this, you better buy that. And how much did you spend on this gift? How much did you spend on that gift? Do you get hung up on the gifts for the holidays? Is it that important that somebody puts in, you know, the time, the energy, the money, the whole process of getting your gift together? Some people get a little crazy. Oh, there was no thought in it. There was no thought behind it. You just went and grabbed a gift card or whatever, and you just went and spent money on this at the last minute from the clearance section or whatever. But do you get hung up all over gifts during the holiday season? Curious to see what type of people we have out there when it comes to that. So when it comes to me, I do not get hung up over gifts. Actually, I prefer not to receive any gifts at all. So for my family, anybody out there, I'm hoping that you all stumble across this video one way or another. Whether you're watching or whatever, I hope that every single person that I'm going to have interactions with, family, friends, this holiday season, and my birthday, because it's in December too, I hope that you all get this message. Please do not buy me anything. Don't buy me anything at all. I don't get hung up on gifts. Um, and I don't mean to be sounding selfish or ignorant or arrogant or rude, but I probably won't like what you get me anyway. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy on anything. Please don't do that. I don't need another shirt. I don't need another sweater. I don't need this. You know what I'm saying? Just the same regular routine stuff. When you are an adult, you don't need all that extra shit like that. It's for the kids and let them get what they're going to get and all of that stuff. And it's about spending time with family. It's about gathering up. It's about sharing the memories for me. I don't need you to buy me nothing. I really don't, because it's probably going to be something that I don't like. And I know that that sounds terrible. And I just don't like going along with the whole process. I don't like doing that. Um, so many years I had to live with people buying stuff for me that I really did not like it. And I had to wear stuff and just be in different situations and environment that I really did not really want to be in there, and really didn't want to receive the types of gifts that I was receiving. Wasn't my style, wasn't anything that I felt like wearing or even being in. In some cases, it was just outright a waste of money. So for me, nah, I don't get hung up. It's just, it's another day. It should be spent, with family and gathering up and living in the moment and creating those memories. I ain't gonna get upset about what you bought me and what you didn't buy me and this and that. Best thing for me to do is go ahead and buy something that I want to buy for myself. I know exactly what I want. Ain't gonna be no disappointments. The right size is gonna fit the first time around. You know what I'm saying? So now I don't get hung up over gifts. I actually prefer not to get any of them at all. So yeah, I don't just don't do the gifts like that for the holidays. And actually, I don't even like shopping for people because after you've been in retail for so long, the last thing that you want to do is go to a store and deal with a bunch of people and lines and the BS that goes on, during this time of year. So even that, retail has sucked the fun out of all type of, you know, the thrill of shopping for holidays and just getting prepared for it. It's like once you spend so many years with that stuff, it's like, I can't. And I have a little bit of it back because I think I'm working on at least maybe 3 or 4 years out of retail. So it's coming back slowly but surely. And I actually do get excited around the holidays now because it's, going to be spent with family the right way without rushing and dealing with, Black Friday sales and getting up at, wee hours in the morning. But man, it's just different. And you like homemade gifts. That's cool. Some people do homemade things that works well. hmm And you said, good, I can afford that. People who get hung up over the holidays. What's up? Hopefully, I get this name right. Let me take my time with this one. Lurched Saw Man. Where are you calling from? Again, if you are out there on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, Twitch, drop it in the comments. Let me know where you calling from. We have freestyle sessions going on tonight, and we're just doing these burning questions here. And I wanted to know, do you get hung up over gifts for the holidays? Is it so important what somebody gives you? Is it so important the time, the thought process behind getting you that special gift? Some people, man, y'all get so crazy. Like, he or she got to buy me this, they got to buy me that. It has to be here. I want this from, this department store, this color, this, that. Ugh, y'all know who you are out there when you want something specific and you go on and you get a little extra about the whole process of what you're getting. Something else. So, since all of these gifts and all of these things are going to make us feel so special and give us so much, I guess, supernatural powers once we get them, I want to talk about people, places, things that have made you feel inadequate recently. When's the last time that either someone or something that you came across basically made you feel inadequate as an individual? When is the last time you were like, wow, this thing right here, yeah, I'm not really feeling that because every time I get around it, every time I see it, every time I talk to them, every time I go there, I feel a little different about the situation here. So when is the last time that you felt inadequate over a situation, over an individual? So when is the last time that you have felt inadequate over a situation, over an individual? When's the last time? I'm sure, if you think long and hard, and it might be a rhetorical question because, this might be something that you're not really comfortable with speaking on it. But when you felt inadequate, you were in the company of somebody, you were at a place where you probably really shouldn't have been. And maybe that was a lesson for you to say, we're not going to do this again. But when's the last time that you felt inadequate about something? Now, Halloween's coming up next week, actually. Crazy that it's here already. But Halloween's coming up next week. So, what do you do? And this is internal, this is personal when it comes to, these parents out here. So, happy Halloween. But what do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? And I guess that's some self reflection because, you know, they came from you. You might have been the reason why they've actually turned into a monster. What do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? How many people out there are raising monsters? That might be a question there. Are you willing to admit that your child is actually a monster? What in the hell are they doing to whoever? Oh my goodness, Rosemary's Baby. So I actually never saw that movie, um, but interesting. So Kathy, what do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? Just one out of three. That's not cool. So now you're calling one of your children a monster? That ain't right. What do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? Halloween's next week, so I guess now they're really going to come out and show you who they really are next week, or maybe even tomorrow, because tomorrow's a full moon. So energy levels are shifting. I said that last night or even the night before. I feel energy levels are shifting. They always say that lunatics come to light on full moon. So we'll see. Maybe they might show you who they really are tomorrow. So, how do you deal with family drama these days? Holidays are coming. You might have to be around some people that you probably choose not to be around, but guess what? Holidays are here. We can't discriminate against family members, right? We got to put up with it. So, how do you deal with family drama these days? Yes, that is correct. And then also, we had a person write into the show saying that they feel lonely. And they feel lonely just for a little bit until they actually hook up with somebody. And then when they hook up, they feel less than, they feel disgusted, they feel defeated, that they gave in to temptation. So this is a process that probably gets repeated from time to time based off of the information that they reveal to us. So, what advice do you have for someone like that who feels lonely and then they can do whatever they need to do to get from feeling lonely? Then, after they get what they're getting and they're getting is good, they don't feel so good afterwards. So, what advice do you have for that person? And it's all on car says, I just used the kids as threats, telling people that they were going to upset them if we don't get along. Hmm, that's a good idea. I could see you doing that. I could see you making up some stories and making somebody feel sorry for the situation and the kids. You ain't right. But that's a good idea. To just say, hey, we better not go back and forth here. The kids are watching. This might be a situation here. Let's just go ahead and save this. As some people say, let's go and table this conversation for a different time here. It's funny. And also, do you think that you can sustain a long distance relationship? What's long distance to you? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours? You're on the West Coast, they're on the East Coast. Does that work? You're in one country, they're in another country. That's even more interesting. What's going on? Solo Solo Solomon Terry, what's going on? Thank you for joining. Where are you calling from? So, long distance relationships, the person that you are today, the knowledge that you have, because sometimes we grow up. We should grow up. Do you think that you can sustain a long distance relationship? And I want to take it a step further. And if that's the case, how far is too far for you? Do they have to be, in the same state as you? Is that really considered long distance if you're on one side of the state and they're way on another side of the state? Because, like for Pennsylvania, for instance, it takes a long time to get from one end to the other. So, what if they're on one side and you're on the other? For instance, I'm in New Jersey. What if the person is somewhere in, you know, Connecticut, Maine, something like that? That's long distance. You can still drive and get there, but it might take you a little bit of time. So, how far is too far? Are you willing to date somebody who's on the East Coast and you're all the way on the West Coast? Or are you willing to date somebody who might be in a whole different country? That's taking it to a whole nother level. I don't know about the whole country thing. I mean, you could at least hop on a plane and do what you need to do to get to the person if you're in the same area, but whole other country, that might be something totally different. What's going on, Red Cat 67? Thank you for joining. Let me know where you're calling from as well. Thank you all so much for joining, and people who are stopping by for the first time. Welcome to the 411 podcast. This is Freestyle Sessions, basically just vibing out today. My guest could not be here tonight, so whenever we have an opportunity, this is what we do here. Just ask burning questions, go back and forth, and yeah, this is what we're doing here. And also, if you like to become a guest here on the 411 podcast, you can DM me. You can also text me at 609-738-0611, and we can go back and forth. You can submit your burning questions, and we can bring them to life right here on the 411 podcast. So, holidays are coming up soon. They'll be here before you know it. And I know it sounds strange. We didn't even get to Halloween yet. But trust and believe that after we do, it's going to go all downhill from there. Next week is Halloween. After that, it's a wrap. Trust and believe. I know it. It happens all the time. So, speaking of holidays, do you get hung up on gifts for the holidays? Is there a specific gift you want this year? Are you very demanding about it? If they don't get it, is all hell going to break loose? Is there going to be this whole, routine that you go through to make sure that you get what you want? Is it a tit for tat type thing? I spent $200-300 on you this year. You better, return the favor and do about $200 and $300 as well. If I shopped and I got you something from this department store, or we went here, I'm gonna need you to spend the same and do the same. Do you get hung up over the gifts for the holiday season? For me personally, I don't. I could care less about it. Um, why have somebody do something for you when you can do it for yourself? Um, if you can do it for yourself. And why waste money on certain things if it's just going to be something that you already have? That's another thing. I mean, do you really need to add to your collection if you already got it? I'm just saying, if you already have it, do you really need to have somebody spend money on the same exact thing? And furthermore, what if you don't like what they got you? Now you got to worry about returning it, wearing it, not wearing it, what they're going to say about it when they don't see you using it, wearing it, the whole nine. Do you get hung up over gifts for the holiday season? Is there a specific process that you go through to make sure that you get what you want? What are your feelings about if you don't get what you want? What's going on? How are you doing out there? Thank you so much for joining as well. I don't get hung up over gifts for the holiday season. I actually would prefer not to get anything at all. Uh, I don't know what has happened to me, but basically, within the past 2 years, I have taken a whole new approach to, materialistic things, and I have scaled back and I've, just decluttered and just got rid of a lot of things, and I look at things a hell of a lot differently. And I only possess and hold on to what I really need. And I truly am embracing living a minimalist lifestyle. And with that being said, having extra stuff, hoarding stuff, getting stuff just to be getting it, clearly is not something that I do. I don't know about you, but I don't do it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I got exactly what I need to live, a decent, normal life, I guess, if you want to use the word normal, because what is normal? But I have just enough of what I need to get through, and that's it. I don't need all that extra stuff. So I don't get hung up over gifts for the holiday season. I actually prefer you to save your money and don't worry about me. Save that money and maybe you should do something for yourself. How about that? It's all about gathering up, spending time with friends and family, and that's pretty much it for me. So when is the last time that you felt inadequate about something? Maybe it was a person, maybe it was an environment you were in. When is the last time that you felt inadequate about anything? And I know that some of you may not want to admit that's not something where we want to run around saying, yes, can you believe that I felt, inadequate about this certain situation? This person made me feel this. That person made me feel that way. When I went to this, gathering, I felt so uncomfortable and it was just something that was not right. Or, you know, when I was at work, this situation happened and my boss made me feel this way or my coworkers made me feel, you know, I get it, right? When is the last time? And based off of the information and knowledge, the situation, here's another question. What steps are you putting in place? Have you put in place to make sure that that doesn't happen again? Sometimes we can avoid some things. Sometimes we can. It just sort of happens. But when you know better, you do better. So, what steps have you put in place to make sure that that never happens again? And that could be basically the company that I keep, well, we're going to change some things up a bit. Yeah, I'm not always going to sit here and turn around and be the smartest person in the environment. That's not always going to happen. I'm going to need to learn. I'm going to need to go to different places. I'm going to need to do something just a little bit different. I'm not going to let you keep doing what you're doing to me. Fool me once, okay. Fool me twice. Now fool me a third time, we really got a problem. So what steps you put in place to avoid feeling inadequate? That's some real talk right there. Self-reflection for real. When you know who you are, I really do appreciate y'all for hanging out there tonight. I really do appreciate that. Yeah. Got some good vibes here tonight. I'm really feeling this whole atmosphere tonight here. So, we all know Halloween's coming tomorrow. Halloween's coming tomorrow. Full moon's coming tomorrow. Halloween's coming next week. um, so yeah, even though that full moon's coming tomorrow, it'll bring out. They say it brings out the crazies, right? So, what do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? Maybe they are going to come out tomorrow with the full moon, but Halloween's next week, so happy Halloween. And for the parents out there that are raising monsters, you know you're raising a monster. You know that your child ain't right. You know that they are going to grow up to wreck some shit and they are going to terrorize a lot of people. What do you do when you realize that, oh, shoot, like, this is not going to turn out well? I got this gut feeling that, man, something just ain't going to be right. Yeah. What do you do when you realize that you are raising a monster? Can some of these things be corrected? Like, and I think at that point, when you realize that you're raising a monster, you really got to do some deep thinking because maybe it's something that you have done that has brought this out. Everybody has it in them. There's good versus evil. This is just what the world is made of, and this is what makes it go round and round and round. And there are some times where you could be just a great person and you've done every single thing that you've done, and you were like the perfect role model parent and you did everything right. And your child just turns out to be a terror to begin with. Yeah, it happens. But then there's some times where these children turn out to be just disrespectful, so and so's. I'm gonna just use those words, so and so's. And the reason why is because the parents let them get away with every damn thing they can get away with, gave them every damn thing. There were no consequences for anything. And you basically let your children run amok. So, what do you do when you realize that you're raising a monster? What something that you did and realized it, something you did and didn't know what the hell was going on, and it just sort of crept up and happened. What do you do when you find out you're raising a monster? And hopefully you find out at a right enough time and it ain't to the point where it's too damn late, because it could get a little crazy. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody out there for hanging with me. I appreciate you tonight. Now tomorrow, I'm going to be here at 8 o'clock. Every Wednesday, I'm here at 8 o'clock for reading between the wines. So grab your bottle, grab your glass, whatever you have, whatever you choose to drink. Come right on inside. Reading between the wines, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. And it actually is going to be a full moon tomorrow. So it'll be an interesting show tomorrow. But yeah, full moon tomorrow. Wednesday, Wine Down Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. Reading between the wines right here at 8 o'clock. Go ahead and let all of your friends know. Tag your friends. Share it. Let them know what's going on right here. Reading between the wines. And if you'd like to support 411 Podcast and Reading Between the Wines, you can go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. And I am so thankful to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, DLive, Twitch. Go ahead and click those links and go inside of Shop Black Diamond, and anything that you purchase inside of Black Diamond will help support the 411 Podcast and Reading Between the Wines. And again, very special thank you to everybody out there who's rocking with me tonight, hanging in there. I definitely appreciate you. And of course, I have to give thanks to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 411 Podcast one more time in life. So, question that I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all with tonight is, how do you spend most of your time? Do you spend most of your time learning things, learning from other people, seeking out different points and brand new areas of knowledge? Or do you spend most of your time teaching? Do you spend most of your time giving? Are you the smartest person in the room? Are you the smartest person in your circle and in your environment? Or are you the type of person who is actually seeking, learning from other people, grasping onto whatever type of knowledge you can? What type of person are you? How do you spend your time? Do you spend your time teaching, or do you spend your time learning? And biggest question, are you the smartest person in your circle of friends, the environment, the tables that you sit at, the people who are in your company? When you look around, are you the smartest person in the room? How do you feel about that? Maybe you're not the smartest person in the room. And I hate to say it because I don't want to talk like that, because I don't believe that anybody is dumb. But hey, maybe you were the dumbest person in your circle and in your environment. And hey, that might not be such a bad thing, because guess what? You can always learn. Is it better to be the dumbest person in a room or the smartest person in a room? Because now if you're the smartest person in the room, how are you going to grow when you're teaching everybody everything, and you have all of the knowledge and you have all of the power? And although nobody is dumb, but if you're the dumbest person in the room, there's some growth there. There's some possibility to learn and expand. Because if you're the dumbest person in a room and you're in a room full of people, look at all of that knowledge. Look at all of that growth that's there. As long as you know how to treat people properly, as long as you know how to be respectful and ask the right questions and be receptive, that's a lot of growth there. I'm just saying. I know nobody wants to be called stupid or dumb, but dumbest person in the room, fresh, green, straight out, don't know much. Some people say rookie, whatever, label it however you want. Or basically somebody who is the smartest person in the room. How do you spend your time? Do you spend your time learning, seeking out people things that are going to help you grow? Or are you a type of person who spends most of your time teaching, finding people to share information with, teaching people? Interesting. I will see y'all tomorrow, right here, reading between the wines, 8 p.m., with my co-host, the whiskey drinking, crazy thinking, shit talking that I am walking, Miss It's All in the Cars with Kathy, and we have Mr. Jimmy Doom, author Jimmy Doom, coming in tomorrow, reading between the wines. I think tomorrow we are going to drink something white wine. It's full moon, so we'll have something very light tomorrow, and we'll see what Mr. Jimmy Doom has to bring to us, reading between the wines. Thank you all so much for hanging in there with me tonight. I appreciate you. I will see you right here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Wine Down Wednesday. Wine Wednesday, y'all. Take care. Good night. Michelle, thank you for joining. Where are you calling from? Oh, everybody's coming in now that we're getting ready to leave. KLB Carpenter, where are you calling from? Good night, y'all. See you tomorrow, 8 p.m.